Hello my Netrunner friends, today we are playing on Jinteki.net, trying out Kate up against Palana Foods. Pretty good opening hand, can't really ask for much more. Obviously our first turn will be Diesel, Sure Gamble, Professional Contacts, unless anything changes. See Nisei in hand, so we'll want to get to that as soon as possible. Presumably Lotus Field on HQ. So I mean we could get greedy and go R&D interface, but I think for the moment we just take our time. Career fair would be a lovely C, but we don't. So instead we will just go with this, take it nice and handy, Dedicas and Professional Contacts. So unfortunately we're going to be feeding a lot of money here, but sometimes you just can't avoid that. Presumably Yagura on R&D. It's a good piece of ice. Now, so the idea behind this deck is we're trying out the new Brahman AI breaker. Just seeing what we can do with that. And to be honest, it hasn't worked out for me so far because I haven't seen it. So we're using that and usual shaper tricks, admin, lady, all that kind of stuff, and see what we can do. Now we've got our RDIs very early, that's pretty good to see. Mimic is always nice. Mystery piece of ice, so we could be looking at a score push fairly soon. I think we just possibly got ourselves ready. Oops, I clicked wrong. And then Katie, and load Katie. So we are ready if this is kind of a glacial build. We're going to money up and be ready for that push. We need to take out Jackson ASAP for multiple reasons. Mainly because they are currently fishing for Caprice, Batty, possibly another piece of ice. And maybe they found it. If we see an advancement, obviously we have to try and push for it. But no sign of SMC just yet. A lot of cards been trashed from hand. So we might be able to take a peek and see what kind of stuff they're going for. So again, we're going to be drawing them money. Data cast is good for us. SMC is great for us. I think we just cast and load Katie. Keep the SMC in hand. Hopefully use it if they do a push. Celebrity F comes down again. Nisei is still in hand and they have found Batty. So we may have to make a push for this. We don't have HQ pressure, that is one issue with this deck. It is very much a case of looking at R&D. So I think we let them commit to this and then make a drive for that. Whoops. Oh. Misclick that. And admit our fault. So Proco, Hedge, SMC, Katie again, I think. So slowly building, getting a bit greedy on Katie possibly, and they are going for the score here, so we have to push elsewhere. Presumably this will be Yagura, so trying to think back into what my breakers are. I have Admin, I have Cypher, and I have Brahman. So this is going to be a Cypher server, I think. Not ideal, but yeah. Now snare is a possibility as well, so I think I will keep these in hand and go for the Maker's Eye instead, maybe. Yeah. Draw. Draw, and I think a Maker's Eye is in order. Yeah. And hopefully we just won't hit multiple snares. So, SMC, we'll go with sabre0001, I think. It's a bit extreme, but otherwise we're putting Atman on 0. That seems like a bit of a waste. So we get that for free essentially, and we will break and break. C3. Hedge. Eli. Pop. Not great. Okay, well, at least we have clone chip. So, obviously disappointed to see this come down. This is potentially dangerous server, but this is basically free reign on ours now. So we know the Drew Hedge Fund, Eli is there. And time to start running stuff. So, RDI, RDI, run. Draw, RDI, RDI, run. I think we were conservative before we completely screw ourselves up. Yeah, we just take it handy this turn, I think. Proco again. We'll ditch the admin. All the career fairs. So, if Eli comes down, I think we admin 4, because that also hits the Lotus field. So, they've drawn, which means it is time to go again, I think. Let's do this. Draw. Clone chip. RDI. And take money. And we'll be ready for next turn. If there is a next turn. Oh dear. Well, at least we're forcing them to commit here. So, we have clone chip for SMC, we have clone chip for Atman. I think we have to push R&D and C. Gotta force some reses at least, and then we can push here if needs be. Oh no. Okay, pop. Whew. Sometimes, in the last couple of days now, I've had issues where people disconnect, then they come back in and the menus won't work, which is really inconvenient. So hopefully this is Eli, and then we can nullify Lotus Field as well. And if it is Eli, then this server will cost us 6 in total once we get the admin out. That'll be the most expensive bit. And the longer that this ice isn't rezzed, the more I worry about disconnecting, having messed up the game. Nope, there we go. Okay. So we are going to get back in an admin at 4. And we're also going to host it, which could really screw us up. Break and break. Oh no. So, dalekmaster8's connection is letting them down. But hopefully it won't cause too many issues. Let's break 2 of these. And we'll see 3 cards, so we'll see what we can get. Jackson, not much point to trashing that, I don't think. Hedge. And wall of static. Well, that's not good. So, do we push for server 2? We'll have to win a lot of side games. And actually Batty would just ruin us. So I think we avoid that as much as possible. Yep, as hoped, it is indeed Lotus Field. So they paid 5, we paid 1. That's a pretty good trade. But they are likely to get 2 Nisei tokens, so who's the real winner here? Connection issues. Thankfully they're getting back in every time. Jackson is in hand. I think we just run again. See what we can see. And if we don't see anything, we just vote Katie. Or even if we do see something, because there's not much we can do about that remote. In turns. So, not ideal. We're not in a great spot. But we'll plug on, sure. And yep, that is as bad as it could be. So, if we run here, it costs us 6. Run the Jackson. But he has the Jackson in hand. Oh boy. And you can stuff it as well. Is the other issue. Brahman comes out. But none of these things are things that we want to get rid of. Really want to use this with like Lady, David, that kind of thing. Astrolabe is okay. It's memory if nothing else. In turns. They get to advance at once. Okay. So we need to put pressure on. We might have to risk Mimic getting, or everything getting blown out here. The old Hail Mary. But for now, let's just run R&D, I think. So pop, pop. Um, Eli, Eli. There we go. Oh god. The lag. And we'll break this twice as well. And C3. Hopefully no future perfects because we don't have a film critic out. Wall aesthetic. Crucium. Swordsman. So none of those are any good to us. And maybe run Jackson. See if they're willing to keep it around. Nope, they get rid of it, which is perfect. So we can run again for 6 credits. If we run here, Ichi is 5 plus Batty, whatever the side game is. But these tokens, we've let him get on top of us. So I think we just push R&D again. And break 2. Let's see what they want to do here. I would token. Yeah. We could run again, take 2 damage. Pay 2, pay 2. Doesn't leave us with anything for future perfect though. So we have to run here. This is going to cost us 6. This is a mystery. Draw money. No, we have to. Yeah, we pretty much have to push for server 2 just to force something. And because if we don't, we lose anyway. There's the Ichi, as you would expect, which costs us 3 would happen. No Batty coming up just yet. Turns out to be an easier server than I thought. Yeah, okay. Now Batty comes up. And spend 0. Sweet. Okay, so Caprice should have been up technically, but we'll leave him off. If we spend 0 again. Okay. So we can run again. It costs us 3, 4, 5. Could take the tag in the brain. Costs us 4 in total. Yeah, we stake 2 tags and 2 brain basically. See if they're willing to boost. Yeah, it was a misplay the last time. I should have forced the trace as well. now we can't get in. So unless we do a Hail Mary here, take 2 damage. Break, break. Take a damage and let him look. No, he has it. Someday we will use Brahman, but today is not that day. Yeah, so I haven't quite gotten my head around a general shaper, I think. It's been a while since I played them, slash have I ever played them. Brahman is a card I want to try, but this may not be the right makeup for it. I think you need to have a lot of things that you're going to refresh, so maybe even throw out cheap and cheerful stuff like Sharpshooter. If you use it, grand. If you don't, whatever. The 2 memory could cause issues as well. There's a lot to work around. It's a card that's interesting. I want to like it. I think it, Atman, David is kind of like the dream team. But there's still some coveralls you need to do. Maybe Overmind is the way to go if you can find a lot of memory. So this Overmind David could actually be worth thinking about. So if you'll excuse me, I think I may have a deck to rejig.